recording, just so everyone is aware. And just to confirm on the attendee list, I have 3 people from the contracting community in attendance. I'm actually going to unmute everyone so you can confirm who you're with. I have Caleb Linton. Caleb, who are you with? Okay, Caleb, I can't hear you. Okay. All right, well, let's come back to Caleb. Maybe, Caleb, if you can use the chat box to let us know who you are with. Okay, we've also got Eric Hirschelman. Eric, you're with Pavement Solutions, is that right?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. And then we have Just Rogers. Just, who are you with?
Justin. Pace.
Justin, okay. Pace? Okay, sorry, I just see JUS on my screen. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Okay, all right. And you said you're with Pace, correct?
Yes, and Chris Gamlin's here with me too.
Okay, all right. And then try Caleb one more time. Caleb, can you hear me? Can you say who you're with? All right, well, oh, Caleb, oh, there he goes. St. Louis, oh, you're with construction. Okay, sorry about that. Thanks, Caleb. All right, very good. So we will close that and move on. And I am going to share my screen so that you can see our agenda for today. All right, can everyone see the agenda?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, real quick, I'm going to do introductions on our team here. Let's see if I can get relearn WebEx. It's crazy every time we do it. All right, just real quick run through all the folks on the county side. I am Pam Tebow. I'm with the Division of Project Development and the engineering team. Next here we've got Brian Gettinger. He is the project manager. Brian, you're for 1830, correct?
Yes, correct.
All right. Thank you, Brian. And then next on my screen, I've got Gina Montgomery with our MWBE group. Gina, did you want to say anything or we'll just keep on going?
No, we can roll.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
All right. We have Trinia Russell also on from the MWBE group. Thank you for joining us, Trinia. Next, we have Greg Marshall. Greg is also from our project development engineering team, and he is the project manager for the other project we're discussing today, CR 1831. And then we have Jansen Thomas from the county with our prevailing wage group. Thank you, Jansen. Okay, who else do we have here? Kim Hitchens. Kim is also with our MWBE group in the county. And then we have Corey Neely, also with our engineering team and project development. And then Nikki Thompson, also with our MWBE group here at the county. I think that is everyone on the county side that I can see. If I missed anyone, please yell at me. I apologize, but I don't see any other names. So, all right, with that, I will move into the next step of our agenda. Just a brief reminder to please review the cone of silence notification that is on the notice to contractors to ensure that you're not violating anything either inadvertently or otherwise. It's nothing has changed. So if you've bid with us before, you know what to expect there, but just a reminder to everyone to please review that. Next here, we've got the MWBE program requirements, and I will turn that over to the MWBE team to go through these items. I said, Nikki, is that going to be you, or I'm not sure how you guys
Sure.
set that up?
That's no problem if that is okay with my team.
That's fine. I want Trinia to type in. I think we're making some changes with our department on who's going to handle what. But Nikki can absolutely do it. She's perfect to do it today.
Okay. Yeah, however you guys can handle this, totally fine.
Yeah, Trinia is going to chime in a little bit, but I think on federal projects, because we have still some training to do on our side with Nikki and Miss Kim. Trinia is well versed, so that's why I want her to jump into. So I think for right now, Trinia is going to be handling federal projects. But go ahead, Miss Nikki.
All right, let's give it a try. There's quite a bit of information regarding the MWBE program within the bid documents, and I noted that it's on pages 22, 37, 147 to 163, and then within the actual bid documents, 277 to 292. And of course, the goals are noted on page 2 for the notice to contractors, and that's 24% for the MBE and 9.5 for WBE. Couple points that I would like to just bring to your attention in case you don't know. Most of the contractors, I heard Pam state, are probably pretty versed with this, but I just wanted to restate some of this information. When it comes to a MBE and WBE, if a contractor has both certifications, only one can be selected. They cannot count as both. If the prime contractor, and I don't think we have one on the call, is an M or WBE certified, the work that they do not count towards the goal for the project. There's only 2 different certifications that St. Louis County program accept, and that is noted on page 151. It has the websites where you can check for that certification. The next goal that we have for these 2 projects is the workforce compliance that will be triggered, and that's 25% minorities, 7% women, and 23% county residents. That is on page 37 of the bid documents or bid manual. Or some of the changes are outdated information that I found within it. Is on page 150. It mentions that the good faith efforts documentation must be submitted to the county by 5 p.m. That is no longer the case. That is now due with the bid, and you'll see that on page 277 within the bid docs. Also on page 151, it lists Jack Thomas as the county's chief diversity officer. He's no longer with the county. And when it comes to certification, you would contact the certifying agency if you have any questions regarding that. We are certainly welcome. You're welcome to contact our office if you happen to have questions regarding MWBE program requirements, not, the bid itself, but just the MBE participation or goals.
Hey, Nikki, just real quick, can I interrupt with a question? You mentioned that one of the documents, I think page 151, mentioned that we still had a reference to 5 p.m. the following day. Is that in
Yes.
our contract book documents that you're talking about?
It's within the bid. It's within the actual that's listed on the county's website.
Okay, is
If
that
you
for the
scroll-
contract book for like CR 1830? I'm just want to make sure which one you're looking at.
Right.
Okay.
I see which one you're talking about. It's 1830.
Okay.
So all the
We made
references
that-
I given are for CR 1830.
Okay, because we may need to issue an addendum to clarify that, because I didn't see any of the forms still reference that 5 p.m. deadline, because we did have updated bid documents that
Right.
clarified that change.
It is on page 277
Okay.
within the MWBE forms
Okay.
and submission information.
Okay.
And I
And then
didn't look at the CR, the other one. I just went over
Okay.
1830.
Okay, we'll double check both
Thank you
books
for
then.
that.
And then the Jack Thomas reference, I'm sorry, what page was that on?
That was on page 151.
Okay. Because I thought the only reference to Jack Thomas had been in the MWBE provisions that we couldn't change. But if that's somewhere else in our book in one of the provisions that we drafted, then we will correct that too. So, okay,
Gotcha.
thank you. I apologize for the interruption.
No problem.
That's
a very good interruption. To clarify that, I appreciate it.
Sure. Yeah, we don't want to have conflicting info, so we will.
Exactly.
Thank you.
In reference to completing the forms, if you need assistance with that, you will contact our office. I think I mentioned that. Not understanding the MWBE documents is not an acceptable excuse for not completing them. Although it states within the forms to complete the utilization forms, like only if you didn't meet the goal. I recommend that you complete it regardless, because you may feel that you have met the goal, but in actuality, when we go through the documents, we find some inaccuracies. So I encourage you to complete those forms either way, the utilization, I'm sorry, good faith efforts documents. Let's see what else I would like to point out. Oh, making sure that the subcontractor is certified prior to you submitting the bid. And I recommend that you check that for yourself, not to go by word of mouth, but to check that certification for yourself. Good faith efforts, a big part. I would like to point out on page 150, you'll see the reference or where you can go to get the scoring guide as it relates to the contractor's good faith efforts. For example, sending out a blanket email to the MWBEs alone is not sufficient actions. So you would like to, I recommend that you look at the guidelines as it relate to that when you're completing those documents, page 284 and 285. And I am referring to the again, the CR 1830, I believe it is, specifications. Let's see what else I'd like to point out. When you're calculating the participation, credit will be only awarded for the work performed corresponding to the North American Industry Classification System, referred to NAICS code. And you'll see more information about that on page 152. Also look at the counting trucking on page 153. And then on 161, it talks about the B2G, our system where you'll be reporting and tracking information as it relates to the project, your subcontractors. Also, if you're awarded this project, expect that the MWBE program will be conducting routine visits, monitoring, interviewing workers, and capturing photos. And I believe that's pretty much what I wanted to point out to the contractors that's interested in bidding on this project. And in general, if you have any questions as it relates to the MWBE program, you're welcome to contact us directly, only specific to the MWBE program. We wouldn't be able to help you as it relates to the bid or any questions regarding the project itself. And that's all I have, and I'm pretty sure Trinia could ad-lib and fill in some gaps that I may have missed.
Well, I thought you did pretty good. I wanted to point out one thing on the trucking page. Trucking is to be counted by the rate and not the ton. We don't count truck by the tonnage, we count by the rate. So when submitting the bid in, could you please fill out the trucking form as well as attach a rate sheet for the trucks? So we're running into a lot of issues with the trucks are not being disclosed that are being on the project. So we want to take care of that when you submit the bid in.
Good one.
And other than that, I think Nikki already pinpointed everything and what page to find it at.
Yeah, no, that was great. Thank you, Nikki. That's really helpful to reference the page numbers, because that got my attention. And like I said earlier, I do apologize if we have any conflicting information in there, but we were trying to make sure we captured all those changes about the fact that the utilization plan is now due with the bid and not 5 p.m. the next day. And I know we caught it in some spots, but we will double check that, and if needed, we will issue a clarification addendum for whichever, if both projects are affected, but we will confirm that. So just so everyone is aware. But I do know we've had a couple bids now with this new timeline, and it seems like everyone is familiar with it. So I don't think it's a huge problem, but we still want to be as clear as possible. So thank you very much for that, and thank you, Trinia, for adding that information about the trucking. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next section. I'm going to kind of skim through this very quickly because, again, I think we've got a number of bidders that have worked with us before, or at least have bid on our projects before. So you can see the overview of the bid submittal process on the screen. Pretty sure everyone on the call today is already registered with the vendor self-service, so there should be nothing new. So I'm not going to dwell on that, but I've gotten questions in the past. So if potential bidders are having issues getting something submitted, you can reach out to me and I will do my best to get you the necessary tech support to get your bid submitted. I would ask that you please don't wait till the last minute because, you know, if you're sending me a plea for help 15 minutes before the bids are due, there's only so much I can do to help you at that point. So try to get ahead of it as best you can to make sure that we can get you the help in a timely fashion. And that's a good segue into the next item here, is to point out once again that we have changed our schedule for the time of day for bid openings. They are now at 2 p.m. instead of they used to be earlier in the day. So the bid opening for both of these projects that we're meeting about today is 2 o'clock p.m. on Wednesday, January 19th. So again, please don't wait till the last minute, especially if you have a problem. The sooner the better. Keep that in mind. And then now I'd like to move into a brief review of each project to see if there are any questions on the scope or schedule or anything associated with each project. So the first one that we are going to touch on is the 2021 CRS Collector Overlay Area B, and that is CR 1830 is the project number. And I think, Brian, that's yours, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, you want to go ahead and go over the highlights?
Yes. I don't think I can zoom in here. All right. I'll just read it. It's in real fine print here on my screen. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
So
Yeah, first thing up is limits and scope. So
yeah. So the 2021 CRS Collector Overlay Area B project, the limits and scope of the project go from, we have Keller Road. On Keller Road, we're working between Bar Road and Butler Hill Road. And we have the scope items that you see there and under the bullet items there. I'm not going to bore everybody with going through each individual one. And then the second site on that project is Susan Hills Drive, and we'll be working from Tesson Ferry Road to Wells Road on that project. And you can see the bullet items underneath that particular item also for the scope of work. And then the third site within the project is Puddle Avenue, and that goes from Telegraph Road to McGoffin Avenue. And that project is, you can see the scope items there on that particular project. And the one, all those three sites pretty much have a very similar scope of work, excepting the Susan Hills project does have some graded troughs that will need to be built in on the roadway. So that's kind of one of the unique items to those three sites. So that's on the Susan Hills project. So
yeah, it looks like the Susan Hills is the only one that has noted tree removal as well. And that's not a huge deal, but it is the one different item I noticed. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Schedule, the letting date is January 19th, 2022, and the anticipated notice to proceed will be in May, roughly in May of 22. Restrictions on the project shall be completed within 100 working days. Construction shall only occur within existing St. Louis County right-of-way. All roadways shall remain open to traffic during construction, and the contractor will be responsible for conducting all required utility coordination.
All right. Thank you, Brian. The second project we're going to cover is very, very similar in nature. It's the 2021 CRS Collector Overlay Area C, and that's project number CR 1831. And that is Greg's project. So Greg, if you want to go over the highlights.
Like Pam said, their two projects are similar. We also have three roads. First one is Valcourt Avenue from Hege Road to Gravois Road. And we also have near the intersection at Valcourt and Rock Hill Road, there is another approach, Alliston Avenue. We will be doing some resurfacing at that intersection as well. And then there's traffic signal loops at that intersection that will be impacted. Also on Valcour Avenue, there is an at-grade railroad crossing. So the contractor will need to coordinate with the railroad and get a permit agreement with the railroad. And there's information in the bid book, the contract book regarding doing that. Yeah, the other items are pretty straightforward with the scope of work. For Valcour, an Edian Park Road, it's from Gravois Road to Sappington Road. That one, Missouri American Water Company had recently gone out and replaced or installed a water main, and they milled and resurfaced half of the road. So we are going to leave that pavement that they recently installed in place. So we will just be resurfacing basically the south half of the road, and then we'll be doing approaches on both sides of the road, shoulders on both sides of the roads in certain areas where it's shown in the plans. So of course we would, there's information of course in our general specs regarding being careful not to damage that pavement, just like it would be in any situation where you're working next to existing pavement. Then on Hannah Road, that's from Big Bend, goes south from Big Bend down to Valley Park city limits, which is north of Vance. And that one, there's just one tree removal on that project. There's not as much with sidewalk and curb ramps on that one compared to the other roads. And all three of our sites also include sidewalk grinding. Seems like that would be worth bringing up. I don't know if that's done on all projects. But then again, the same as the other project, letting date January 19th with anticipated notice to proceed in May. This project has 90 working days, slightly less than the other one. Construction shall only occur within the right of way, and all roadways shall remain open to traffic. Contractor shall obtain all necessary permits, agreements, and licenses, work within the railroad right of way for Valcour Avenue, and contractor responsible for conducting all required utility and railroad coordination. Again, just mentioning Edian Park, there is pavement that will be used in place.
All right. Very good. Thank you, both Greg and Brian. I appreciate it. All right, I'm going to stop sharing my screen so we can focus on any contractor questions that there may be. And I also saw someone else had joined us. I'm going to double check here. Okay, I have a Taylor Shelton that had messaged me. He said he has make sure his attendance is counted. So Taylor, I need to confirm who you are with. So Taylor, I'm going to unmute you. Taylor, can you, if your audio is working, can you let me know who you're with?
I am with Gerstner Electric.
Gerstner Electric. Okay, thank you. All right. Okay, and it looks like we've got no other new attendees on that list. So just to recap really quickly, I've got Gerstner Electric represented, Pace Construction represented, and Pavement Solutions represented. So if there's any corrections with that, either yell at me, put something in the chat, just make sure that you let me know if I've got anything wrong there. So, all right, so that's that. Again, I've unmuted all of the attendees to see if there are any questions, either for our engineers with questions about the project specifics, or if you have any questions for our MWBE team that's on the call. If not, we can adjourn, but I just wanted to give you guys a minute or two to speak up if you had anything that you wanted to cover. I'm hearing crickets, so I guess that's a good thing. I guess that means we covered everything perfectly and there's no doubt in anyone's mind. Yeah, right. No, in all seriousness, if there are no further questions, if no one else from the county side has anything to add, then I believe we can adjourn and everyone can go about their day. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for your attendance. I do appreciate it. And just a reminder, we did record this meeting, so I'm going to end the recording here in just a moment. And as soon as the recording is available to us on WebEx, we will get that posted in vendor self-service in case anyone wants to pop back in and review anything from this meeting. So, all right. Well, again, thank you all for your time. I do appreciate it, and have a great day.
Thank you, Pam.
Bye-bye.
See
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Bye.
Take care.
Thank you.